once said that nothing strengthens authority as much as silence, and today people seem to be following suit without ever questioning some of the decisions being made about the American people. Some statistics presented to society about African Americans are very negative and subliminally promote black inferiority. There are some statistics that misrepresent African American male students. The use of such strategies have historically kept this minority group under close scrutiny and have severely affected African Americans' functionality within society. In some cases, specifically about African Americans pertaining to education, numbers have been manipulated, and it started with the misrepresentation of the numbers of African American male high school dropout rates. The government uses high school records across the country to record the dropout rates of African American males. What is not well known is how they collect this data. Each time an African American male transfers schools, has to stay a grade behind, or even graduates early, he is counted toward the number of black males dropping out of his cohort. Researchers have discovered this unfortunate truth through a study done by James Morton, a black activist and author, and have used his findings to present to society to promote healthier thinking amongst black youth. Another tactic that the government has used to promote black inferiority is by making the claim that there are more black males in prison than in college. However, for the past 5 years, there have been more black males in college than in prison. According to research conducted by James Morton, from 2008 to 2010, there were approximately over 11 million black males in college compared to the 8 million in prison. The promotion of these statistics is unfortunately nothing new. In 1956, the government funded a program called COINTELPRO, which was established to disembody any minority mass movement working against the government for the protection of national security. These targeted groups were civil rights movements, Southern Christian leadership conferences, and the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. COINTELPRO tactics have been alleged to include disengaging targeted groups through psychological warfare, smearing individuals and groups using forged documents, planted evidence, harassment, wrongful imprisonment, and illegal violence, including assassination. It wasn't until 1971 that this program was officially shut down. Unfortunately, some of these same individuals falsely imprisoned or defamed from their lives are still being affected decades later. The effects of negative statistics and stereotypes of African Americans have been severe. Based on the article, We Don't Talk Right, You Ask Him, white children are taught white supremacy, and it is damaging because it teaches black children that they will always be inferior. Within this article, a class of black students did not feel confident enough in their language to articulate questions to their white speaker. Another known example of such is the doll experiment conducted by Kenneth and Mamie Clark in the 1940s. African American girls were asked which of two dolls, a black doll and a white doll, did they feel was better. The African American girls stated that they felt that the white doll was the better doll because it had better hair and it was prettier. Then the young girls were asked which doll they identified with, and they stated the black doll, inferring that they did not view themselves as in a positive light. These tactics have hindered the positive thinking of African Americans, causing black people to go about their everyday lives with the mindset that because they are black, that they are inferior to the white race. Some statistics presented to society about African Americans are very negative and subliminally promote black inferiority. There are some statistics that misrepresent African American male students. The use of such strategies have historically kept the functionality of the misrepresentation of these statistics have historically kept this minority group under close scrutiny and have severe effect on African Americans' functionality within society. So if you want to answer questions from the government, do not be afraid. If you want answers from the government, do not be afraid to ask questions about the information presented about your community and the individuals within it. Thank you.